I had my high school certificate in 2013, and then I could not go to the university because of financial crisis. So since 2014, I've been a commercial driver along the Bamenda Ingi Road. So we have been managing to raise. I was saving some money in my account. I created an account with the bank so that I can raise some money. Maybe in 2 or 3 years I can go back to the university.
Okay.
So the problem started since 2016, but it was in major cities, was not in the interior, like from where I come from. So we were still able to transport people from one place to another. But it was only in 2018 that the war affected the area in which I live. So it started in the evening around, that was on the 23rd of May, where the divisional officer, because there have been indications that the rebels was around, the separatist fighter was around. So the government had to send more troops to Ngi, where I come from. The government imported more troops from Ngi since one military officer was shot, and he was shot dead at the divisional officer's house. So the government had to send more. So the next day, it was on the 25th, the principal of GHS Ngi, that is Government High School Ngi, from where I come from, was attacked because the separatist fighters, the rebels, have given orders over social media that there was not going to be school because Cameroon is made up of 10 regions, but here you can call it 10 states.
Okay.
But it is divided. Two of the 10 are English speaking, and then the rest is French. Yeah, so Cameroon 8 is French, and then 2 is English. So separatist fighters have given orders over the social medias that there was not going to be any school in the two English-speaking regions. So the principal that was trying to organize that school should resume was attacked and was shot, even though he was not dead. He was carried to the hospital for emergencies. So since the rebels were around, the government had to send in more troops. So when the troops just came in, hearing that one of the soldiers have been killed, they were so angry and they were so mad. So there was a mass arrest. There was a mass arrest in the locality. So I was arrested for my first time. I was arrested, and we were taken to the local prison where we were used to with the force, the peacekeeping force, and not the army. We have never been used to. I've never heard a gunshot of an army, because they were always sent to areas that there are troubles, but we did not have any trouble. But at that time, they were sent to our area since there were rebels around. So they just came, and there was mass arrest. We were tortured. We were locked up for 3 days. We were tortured. We were asked to sleep on a bare floor, on a wet floor, for almost 2-3 days. We had no food. So it was around the third day, the third night, people could not resist. Others were in other classes because we were locked in classes. There is a school just attached to the prison yard, but the prison was already full. So they took us to classes. We were locked up there for 3 days. So when people could not, they did not give us any food. We were treated poorly. So the third night, people could not resist because of hunger. It was around 2 a.m. in the night. I just saw others escaping through the window. They succeeded to open one window, and others were escaping in the class which I was locked in. But before then, they have given us lists. They have given us a list to write our names. They took our fingerprints, and then they snapped us and put in the system. We thought that maybe they were doing like that to release us. We never knew that they had the intention to keep us. So for the third night, when I saw people escaping through the window, I had no choice than to escape. Going back to the village, everybody had already escaped to nearby bushes where they could be safe, a little bit safe. So I could not see my family, and then when I was writing my name, I saw the name of my stepbrother. My stepbrother, he was not locked in the same class with me, but he was in another class. But when I wanted to write my name, I saw his name on the list. So we succeeded to escape. Only our class that I was there, they did not succeed to escape. They did not even know what was going on. So when I went to the village, everybody has already escaped. My family has already escaped to where I don't know. So the next 3 days, we escaped the third night. So the 2 nights after, that was on the 29th of May 2018, we saw videos over social media that 5 boys have been removed from the other class, were taken to Bali and they were killed by the military. So the video was posted in a YouTube and a Facebook, so we only watched. So I was so traumatized. So I was in Ngi, in my village, in the same locality, though the atmosphere was tense. So I had to look for my parents where they were living. So since we were giving poor treatment, I have cough. But there was no hospital to go because even the hospital was closed. All the nurses, the doctor have run away for their dear lives. So when I saw my stepmother, my father was not in the locality. So I saw my stepmother and my stepsisters and my brothers. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister from the same womb. So I saw them. We were in the forest together, and then it was about 2 months after. That was in August. We came back to the house. We came back to our home because we were not hearing more gunshot around. We thought that maybe the place was calm. So we came back to the house to collect few things, few basic needs that we could not do without them, like dresses, because we escaped to the bush without even dresses. Since I was arrested with the dress that was on me. So we came back with my step brother, and then we spent about 45 minutes in the house trying to get few things, including some small money that was in the house. So as we were leaving, I was more afraid than him because I have been arrested the first time and my name has been put in the system. I did not wanted any contact with the military that will indicate maybe they want to look in the machine. They will indicate that I was arrested and I ran away. So I was more afraid than my brother. So I left before him, and few minutes later I heard he was shot, the second brother. So I had no choice than to leave and go to the city. Being in the city was still not unsafe. The presidential election has been scheduled for October 7th. So the government again had to send more troops into the locality again. So when they came there, I was just in the hiding. I was avoiding any activity that could get in contact with me with the military. Especially, I thought of going to the other region, the other French region, but since I could not speak French, I could easily be identified that I was not from there. So I had no choice than to run to the neighboring country, Nigeria. So I had some money with me in the house. I had to change the money, and then I ran to Nigeria, hoping that I was going to establish my life in Nigeria. Nigeria is the neighboring country to Cameroon. So when I get to Nigeria, there was still problem. Many Cameroonians has escaped to Nigeria, and some have been arrested and deported back to Cameroon, and they were taken to prison. Some have never come back. So when the information was around Nigeria that the government of Nigeria does not want people from Cameroon again, he had organized a program that they will be marked along Lagos. Lagos is the city in Nigeria where I live. So I was so afraid, and then I was also thinking of buying a second-hand taxi that I can begin my life, since my profession was driving. So in Nigeria it was totally difficult because I was not a Nigerian, so buying a car was not a problem, but the problem of having a Nigerian driver's license and other necessary documents was my problem. Since I was not in Nigeria, the procedure was going to take me some time, or maybe was a little bit going to be expensive. So still in Nigeria, there was still fear I could not establish in Nigeria, mainly because I was not a Nigerian. And then the hotel where I live, I submitted my problems to the hotel manager, and he said he could help me out of Nigeria. So since I could not go back to Cameroon, we searched on Google and we saw Ecuador as a visa-free country to Cameroonian. So Ecuador is a visa-free country. That gave me an opportunity. The procedure of going to get a visa was not necessary. So I left, and I gave him the little money that I have. He just have to book my flight, hotel reservation, and then he just pay insurance for 1 month. That when I establish, I can seek for asylum, and then I can begin to manage my life there. So I gave him the money that I have kept, that I can buy a second-hand taxi in Nigeria. I gave him the money. He just paid my flight. Because I have never traveled by air before, I don't know anything about flight, so he helped me and just gave me the package. So I took to Ecuador. When I arrived Ecuador, I still faced this same problem. I never knew that Ecuador is a Spanish country. Yes. So I was in Ecuador just for a week, and then I did not have any money. So I was lucky my sister from the same womb was not in the village where there was not network. So he was in the city. I tried to communicate with him through Facebook, and I got him since I did not have any number. I got him through Facebook. I got her, sorry, through
Yes.
Facebook, and then she sent me some little money, and then I just saw a group of migrants passing through Ecuador that they were coming to the United States. But I was not still sure that I would reach up to this level because the money she gave to me was little, and then I still have to pass about 7 countries to come and reach here. So I look at it to be an impossibility. So I was just coming that maybe I can meet anywhere that speaking English, because my main problem was language. At times when you want to speak in English, they will pay little attention to you, or at times they will not even pay attention to you, they will just pass. So it was still difficult for me to live in Ecuador. So I saw a group of migrants saying that they were coming to pass through Panama. Okay, that they were coming to pass through Panama, and then they were trekking. So I have no problem with trekking. So we trekked in Panama for about 4 days in the jungle, seeing wild animals and all those things. And then when we arrived Panama, the immigration gave us just 25 days, sent us to Costa Rica, and that is how I was just coming and finding.
So you have a
I've been so traumatized since then. I haven't talked to any of my family members apart from the one that I spoke with in Ecuador. I don't even have a phone since my phone was missing.
yes. I can understand really good about the things that you have lived, but I know this is too hard. But well, I am a God truster. I'm a religious, but I think that God had helped you, and I know that will help you too. I'm from the United Nations.